5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Like, I don't understand. I thought I understood that when I changed that. Can it be heard now? Hello? Can you hear me now? There we go. God damn it. There we go. Fuck's sake. I thought I could have split tracks for my different audio things. Yeah, screw you. We got all these different animals that we can choose as a companion. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with a wolf, because wolves at one point or another were my favorite animal, and they're my favorite out of any of these options available to us. They do high damage and can more easily avoid disengagement attacks, which is good for if I want to have them like do some damage to one enemy and then kind of try to lead it away or something, and attack another enemy, stuff like that. Stag, they can do a special melee attack. That's all right. Lion can do a terrify effect. You gonna go see a movie? Well, enjoy the movie, brother. Boars do more damage when they are closer to death. Well, closer to being knocked out. Bears have exceptionally high damage reduction, which that would be good. And antelopes, they have superior defenses against, I think these are mostly against like magic type direct melee and ranged attacks that are not area of effect. Fortitude resists attacks on internal physical systems, and then will is against mentally based attacks like spells. Reflex is against AoE attacks. But I'm thinking of going with wolf. I think that'll suit the sort of playstyle I intend to go for. Hold on, I had a list of names that I was going to choose from for this. Oh, specifically, I remember who I was going to use. It's kind of a simultaneous double reference type thing of we got this person is associated with nuclear power. They demonstrated the phenomenon of beta and alpha radiation, and their name was also used in Homestuck. So there's that. Their name was also used for a canine in Homestuck, so I figure it'll be good. Passive wolf companion. Excellent. I'm not going for super balanced. I'm not going for. I mean, I'm leaning pretty heavily into the things that are strongly recommended, but it seems like a reasonable thing to do when you're not experienced with building a character in a game like this. So we'll just do that. Culture. Alright, Adir Empire is the largest, most powerful force in this part of the world, and around the equator has a tropical climate, has colonies in numerous areas of the world. Greater Adir is at its heart and houses the majority of its human and elven nations. Deadfire Archipelago. Wait, this changes my outfit as well. Deadfire Archipelago consists of the nation of Nesitek, dozens of Almoa settlements, hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands stretched along the southern sea. Deadfire is home to boreal dwarves, Almoa, and mixed variety of other races. Deadfire Archipelago is the last stop for anyone headed east. A multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtually impossible. This also affects one of my attributes. Gives me a bonus, whichever culture I come from. The Ix Middle Plains are located to the northeast of Erglanfath. Ixamiddle Plains are a large expanse of fertile savannas that are extensively farmed by human and Orlan residents, so it would maybe make sense for me to come from there. The Ixamiddle culture is one of the oldest in the world, though one of the least imperialistic, having spread out little over the past several thousand years. Okay. That sounds like a reasonable place to come from. Old Vilia. Once the crown jewel of southern seas, Old Vilia is now the crumbled remnants of an empire of warring merchant nations. Counting many humans and dwarves among their ranks, the old Vilian countries are still forces to be reckoned with, and are proud of their rich cultural heritage. Warring merchant nations. Many humans and dwarves among their ranks. I don't think it makes sense for me to come from there, really. Rautai. I think it's pronounced Rautai. We learn eventually. Dominated by Amawa nation of Rautai. Gulf itself is host to a number of nations, most of them Amawa, Orlan, and Dwarven. Okay, maybe it would make sense to come from there. Though these countries are relatively young, they are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the east. Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them. Though the entire coast is often pummeled by violent storms. Alright. Could make sense to come from there. Living Lands. Living Lands is the mountainous region where a large northern island, renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable and its ecosystems vary dramatically from valley to valley. Living Lands are home to an assortment of races in a variety of colonial and independent settlements. This could make sense, because this could also explain why my might is as high as it is for being an Orlan. Could be a good backstory. Culture. Not backstory. There's more to culture, I think. Next page. Alright. White that wins is a large, cracked, southern expanse of polar ice. The White that wins is home to the Pale Elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts, and adventurers. While virtually no plant life grows in the White, it is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage from the sea or prey upon each other to survive. And that has probably the best clothing to start in. I'm thinking the Living Land sounds like a good place for us to come from. I like that. We're from a relatively harsh region. It requires us to be a little bit more physically adept than we might otherwise be for our species. Hunter inherently just makes sense as a background for a ranger. You live for the thrill of the chase, whether for glory or for sustenance. You have made your living taking the lives of wild creatures. Me and my wolf companion, just kind of living off the land. Doing our own thing for the most part. Sort of decide, maybe I could go for a little bit of a, what do you call it? Settling down. We've wandered. Well, hold on. It gives me bonus to stealth and survival. Which survival is kind of annoying. You choose one of the 6 things. Every time that you sleep. Never quite fit in, no matter where you go. Each new town is just a place to rest briefly before moving on to the next. You're more comfortable on the road, traveling the world. Well, yeah, and maybe I decided I would come to Gilded Vale not because I thought not because I was enticed by settling, but because I thought it would be a good way to make the journey, to get out of the wildlands, the living lands. To join this caravan and get to a different part of the world, so I can continue sort of exploring and making my way. Well, as I say, explorer is a. You find the siren call of the horizon irresistible. You cannot help but wonder what lies beyond the next hill or wave, and you built your life around finding out. But mostly alone with just me and my companion. I think Drifter makes a little bit more sense. We kind of drifted around. We couldn't find any place that we felt we belong in the living lands. Laborer, I don't think. Mercenary, nah. Merchant, psh. Scientist, nah. I think Drifter makes sense to me. Part of a group that found it. Well, then why would I be coming here then? I founded a fledgling colony elsewhere. Now I decided to just move away from all of that. Like, really? Yeah, no, we'll go with Drifter. Francis Perrin introduced the concept of critical mass. His group in Paris demonstrated the idea of controlling nuclear reactions, which was a step towards nuclear power plants, which is very much of interest to me. So I want to use the name Perrin. I think Perrin's a good name. Interesting name. The French have done so much nuclear power. It's good stuff. Do I want anything else? Do I want to be just Perrin, or do I want to be like Perrin something? Morton Klaproth discovered uranium, naming it after the planet. Someone named Villard began to develop an understanding of gamma radiation. Marie Curie named the phenomenon of radioactivity. Yes, we express things in Curies. James Chadwick discovered the neutron. What a name, Chadwick. What a Chadwick. Irene Curie and Frederick Joliot observed the creation of artificial radionuclides. That's cool. And Enrico Fermi discovered more radionuclides by firing neutrons at atoms. That's always awesome. Combined. Enrico Fermi and Francis Perrin. Discovery of nuclides and critical mass concept. Good names. Nautilus. First nuclear powered submarine. Good shit. I think I'm just gonna go with Perrin. Perrin sounds good to me. I think that's gonna do us. Alright. Well, let's go ahead. New quest, Gilded Vale. Journey to Gilded Vale. Oh, alright. The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He says, nodding towards a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle around here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards.
Oof.
Unless you don't drink water, of course. Which case you'll be dead in a day.
Oof.
There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check
That sounds
around,
about
see
right.
if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water.
That would be excellent. Thank you very much.
I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
He says that towards his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfle, who carries an old, sun-bleached bow. Sparfle nods, slides a worn bow over his shoulder, and I presume he also goes off to try to fetch water. Alright. Well, that sounds good and all. Where do I find these berries
They grow on
again?
a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
Alright. So what are these
They
huge
don't got hydra
rocks?
where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. The soul
alright.
butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Yeah? I suppose you would. Most people do. Sounds like wizardry. So what is up with the
Nothing
ruins?
you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn. So I hear.
He adds with a wink. Right, so Glonfothans kind of hang around and protect the ruins, but they weren't the ones that built them. So who did build them?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Alright then. So what are the dangers out
Not
here?
if you hurry about your business,
Is it dangerous? It's not dangerous if... Okay.
and not if the weather holds up.
Weather? What about the weather?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beawick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
Alright. Well, let's have me go and find some of these berries, even though I'm the one that's sick.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
I got you. So he scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
She takes her time, looking up when she so chooses.
He needs to find some spring berries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
Excellent.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Probably a good one.
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Sure. I have no super...
Off with you. Aiden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Okie dokie.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Sounds good. Welcome to Pillars of Eternity. If this is your first visit to the world of Eora, you may want to watch these windows, become familiar with tools and interfaces. I've seen some of them, but we'll keep it up. Just to help us refresh.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Sure. I see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He is transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He says, laughing, shaking his head. He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Maybe in a minute, but first, do I know you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire. I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know. I think that sounds about right. Yeah, I think that. Alright.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Tell me more about the Adir.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Ceres and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire. A fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
Oh, because he's from the Adir Empire. He's getting teased, I guess, by the other Caravaners. Gotcha. Yeah, colonies. All right, so yeah, because they've rebelled, kind of won their independence. All right. So why are you moving all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raid Ceres? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
Ah, gotcha. I think you mentioned that now that I understand. He shrugs. Darwood is a former Adir colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admire the Raid Saren's work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. Let's see. So his brothers kind of took over the mercantile business and the Adir Empire. Yeah, sounds reasonable enough. I'm not too things. Don't have that strong of an opinion one way or another. Alright, we can sell copper pieces as the currency. Yep. Merchants buy for less than they sell for. Caravan identified it as rumbling rot. Something strange about it. Despite the symptoms, it doesn't feel like any sickness you've ever had before. I wonder if I'm suggesting that, like, I don't think it's rumbling rot, but, you know, that sounds reasonable enough. I don't really want to argue it. Like, I understand that what symptoms there are. Oh, who's this? Oh, Sparkle.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
That's fair. What are you doing?
There's a grove nearby. Ought to have what you're looking for.
Oh, okay. He sounds like an Amawa.
There's a grove nearby. Ought to have what you're looking for.
Alright. Well, let's look around. Oh, is this what we're looking for? No. Actually, we probably would have seen it on our way in, huh? Path winds through a narrow canyon back the way you came.
We shouldn't stray too far.
Yeah, that's probably going too far back. What do we got here?
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Bum bum bum. Alright, we got pausable real-time system. Often manage more than one character. It's a good idea to pause. Yeah, issue orders. Alright, we started combat. There's a young wolf out here. Let's send my own wolf companion to start the fight. And we could probably mark our prey. I don't imagine there's more. Oh, that's party. I think that's the only enemy we have here, so let's just engage. 2 per encounter. Let's go ahead and use that. Becquerel doesn't have any special abilities to use. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and mark prey immediately. Alright, we've engaged in melee, we're engaged, they'll stop moving. If they move, you can provoke a disengagement check, yep. So, try not to provoke disengage attacks. Alright, mark it. Awesome. Alright, sometimes a weapon or spell isn't suited, yep. So, you might want to change weapons. Alright. Prey marked, we're gonna go ahead and attack. Why are you not... Come on, serious? What? There you go. I'm pressing the wrong button, apparently.
Ready when you are.
Alright then.
Ready when you are.
All right.
Not a problem.
Excellent. What's this?
This
This is it. Okay. Calista says we're kind of a mystery to the rest of the caravan. Just some kind of wanderer, the way I hear it. Oh, and now I can kind of expand on my backstory here. Wander into the lives of fools, talk them out of their money, and wander back out. Have to be when people are looking for you. Ooh, that sounds interesting. People looking for me. What kind of people are looking for me? How is it I've happened to come here? They think I have something that belongs to them, something they're pretty intent on getting back. Cross dangerous people. Don't know why they're looking, don't care to find out. Yeah, I don't think I'm a thief, cause like I think it's more a case of like I drift around, I go and try to find places to sell stuff that I collect from my hunts. And somebody decided to try to stick something on me, but yeah, I don't know exactly why they're trying to look for me, but I don't care to find out. Decided to leave. That's why I decided to leave that region. Well, we've all got things we'd like to leave behind. Gods know I do. I'll tell you that. Here's hoping they never track us down. Sure thing. Calissa breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Radrick's offer makes a girl think, I'll give him that. You here to settle like the rest of the lot? I expect to just be passing through. That's usually the case with big city, just a little ways further up the same road. Where are you headed? No more special time and distance between me and my old life. Continue to the city, see where that takes me. I'll probably wander. That's what I usually do. I don't have any super big ambitions. Couldn't judge you for that. Been half my life. Just watch yourself. You get too far off the beaten path. These lands are wild in more ways than one. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. But Damo will give us an earful. Let's be on our way. Oh, alright. Hold on. What can you tell me about Darwood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. Locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now. Somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Your sister? I don't know if this will get me more information about that. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. Alright. Is she why you're here then? Calissa sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. Yeah, my sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried. But that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out. So that's got me a little worried. Oof. Haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Ixamital. Ixamital. I don't know how that's pronounced. But I'd do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me. So I'm here, and we'll see. Odaima I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive her out this way, but he's doing it for me. Alright then. Well, suppose we should get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfle's getting your water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, when he feels like it. We should check up on him first, slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. Alright. Thanks, Glissa. Very, very kind, friendly, helpful, etc. Journal updates with information. You can review my notes whenever. Alright.
Went hunting.
Huh?
At least you left the water skins. Come on.
Ah. Alright, you crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Calissa waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. I've gained an item. Quest. Full water skin added to the stash. Out of the trees emerges Sparfle, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there is a strangeness to his gait, his stride wobbly as he moves toward you with labored breath.
Sparfle? Are you alright?
Sparfle's toe catches on a rock and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Oh, well, shit.
Ambush!
Oh, well, shit. Alright. Wolf, head there. You head there. They are... This one looks like they have a bow. Yes, they do. So I'm gonna mark them. Mark them, and I think I click with the left button because I expect that to be like, you know, what you do. Have them do that. All right. Let's go.
What you need?
Sick. When you take damage, you lose endurance and health. Portrait will fill with red overlay, and the health bar to the left of the portrait will decrease. If the portrait fills entirely red, you will be knocked out. Potions and spells can restore endurance, keep you in the fight. Health can only be restored by resting. You say that. Nice. Search the corpse.
Not a problem.
Search the corpse. Master. I am too curious what's over this way. Nothing. Alright. Well, I'm glad I did that. Alright. Oh, jeez. Oh, this doesn't look good. Oh. Oh, dear. Well, go after them. This is a new encounter, right? I can't see them yet. Go after them.
Ready when you are.
Oof. I do want you to go for them, though. Since they are marked. Which is part of why I went with the wolf, is that they're allowed to disengage more easily. Am I not attacking? Yes, I am. Alright. Taking care of them.
Ready when you...
You can probably use this again.
Just say the word.
Alright. Here we are. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Calissa puts the back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and... What the heck? A handful of dark figures stands above the falling, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies, as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe, with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hayden, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. Don't have the lore. We have not trespassed. We merely wish to pass through. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them. They mean to kill us all. Perception. Your courage is a mask. None of you has yet slain a true warrior. Sure, why not? The man's brow creases, questioning. We have killed many trespassers like you. Your kills are sloppy. The wounds on these people are inefficient and off target. This is the work of untested men, accustomed to carelessness. The man bares his teeth. He looks at Hayden, helpless, his eyes shut tightly for the killing blow. The man spits. We'll see whose courage is a mask. He shoves Hayden toward you. As he does so, the man rakes his blade against Hayden's torso. Hayden screams and stumbles forward, a wide gash in his clothing, beginning to bloom crimson. The man sets his feet to engage you, his axe raised high. Oof. Hayden! He's got bruised ribs. Alright. What do we got here? Any of these guys rangers? Oh, this one might pull out their bow. This one's probably going to be the most effort to fight. Set my wolf at him, and then I will start aiming at this person. See how that goes. Hayden is able to be in our party. He's only got... Well, he's got a pair of daggers. Alright. Who's my wolf attacking? Is my wolf attacking the leader? He is indeed. Let's go ahead and mark him. And also attack him. This guy will fight this hunter.
Just say the word.
Scored a crit. Nice. Oh, wow. Well, that was very easy. Your enemy lies supine? Supine? What does that word mean? I have not seen that word very often. Or at all. Supine? Lying face upward. Okay. Oh, hold on. We've got this.
Supine.
Supine! Your enemy lies
Supine.
on the ground, unable to rise, his companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the cap, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and where it pierces you, it feels as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against a caravan wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across the chest and bowel, Odema's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
All right. Straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you set your hands on the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With the last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Heoden trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers, who has been feigning death, lunges for Heoden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Heoden lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you. From your position, you would have a good chance at hitting your mark. Oof, don't have the dexterity for whatever special option, but will fire at the attacker. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Heoden loose. Lurching to his feet, Heoden clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with the waning strength, and it feels though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Heoden to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonance to the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces from the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. Was that?
A Buick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
Yeah.
There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
She says, eyeing the ragged slash across Heoden's belly. His jaw tightens and he nods. Quest complete. A moment's respite. Quest complete. We're still on our journey to the Gilded Vale, but we are now in the ruins. Alright. Lower level of the ruins has been blocked off by fallen rubble.
Just say the word.
Okie dokie.